the EatClean Bro menu from top to bottom. Anybody a little overweight can benefit from any meal on eatcleanbro.com. Anybody who's taking their training serious and wants to level up, there's plenty of whole food menu items that you could eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner and hit your goals.
Hi, this is Wendy.
And this is Debbie.
We are so glad you're here. Welcome to the Nourish Noshes podcast.
Yeah. So I have a question. Do you really know what's in your takeout or prepared foods?
Yeah, we live really busy lives. We don't always have the time or the energy, right, to cook
True.
every single night. We have full schedules. Maybe families are going all different kinds of directions. And maybe your family is all eating different kinds of foods. And it's just we are realistic health and wellness coaches. And it's not always realistic to cook nourishing foods every single day.
That's right. Yeah. But we have a solution for you.
Yes. Yes, we do.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. EatClean Bro is a real food. It's local. It's convenient. There's no subscription that's required, and it's not too expensive. They deliver foods, real meals, real delicious meals.
Yes.
With a full list of ingredients. We love that transparency. And Wendy and I both tried several of the meals. They were delicious.
Yes.
And we wanted to have the founder, Jamie, join us and tell us all about his business. They were so gracious to give us a code for all of our listeners and clients to get 10% off too, which we'll share with you. But what we like to hear is stories. We love to hear the story behind this business and how it works and all that good stuff. So,
well, thank you so much for the kind words. My story is, it's kind of like passion and perseverance. You said we're doing like a 20 or 30-minute show, so I'll try to sum up. I'll try to sum up the beginning.
Yeah.
Essentially, when I was a personal trainer, that's when I really started learning about the benefits of nutrition. When I was a kid, I loved working out hard. I was an athlete. I was a wrestler. I loved training. I loved lifting. And then for bodybuilding purposes is when I really started to notice the need for, higher protein and sometimes lesser carbs or whatever you're trying to do in the bodybuilding world. But once I started eating like clean, I know it's like it's a term I coined too, but like eating whole foods, just natural foods. I just found it never sat right with me when I was a personal trainer. It was like $100 an hour to train, and I was working with people 3 hours a week. Now, those were the people who were fortunate enough to be able to spend $300 a week on a trainer. And I felt like I was failing them because they were going home, being left to their own devices, and they didn't really have like anyone's hand to hold. So at 19 years old, I just started cooking for my clients. It happened on accident. And then it just all came together, and it just felt right. It felt right that I could make an honest living. And everybody has a dream in America, right? Like as an entrepreneur, everybody wants to get rich.
Yeah.
But it never sat right with me. Like I never wanted to hurt anybody. I never wanted to be rich bad enough to like hurt somebody to get ahead. And then once I was like, wow, I can help people. I can make an honest living. And if I sell enough of these meals, I can make a legitimate living for myself, and I can help other people and create jobs. And everything about the entrepreneur avenue sat so right with me because I was selling a product I believed in. And it was a product that I would eat myself, or I would feed my grandmother. It's a product I feed my daughter. It's I'm selling whole food, and what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to keep the food as simple as possible and nail all the culinary techniques. And that's really just been the mission since I started doing this in 2005, and it hasn't changed. And I've been self-funded. I started EatClean Bro with my last $300, and it's just been one little piece of the puzzle, adding at a time. 110 employees, 17 states, And I've just always tried to keep that like boutique feel to, just a simple solution for people. And I wanted to start networking with registered dietitians. We have a registered dietitian on staff, and I just thought it was important that people know, like registered dietitians are like doctors, man. Like they're not that far away from being able to call themselves doctor. And and nutrition is not like, it is a very important aspect that people need to understand, but it's actually simple. If you could just try to eat better and just keep doing it, it's consistency. You'll start to feel better, and really take charge of your health. My uncle Tom, it's always funny when people always ask me like how much salt is in the food. Well, EatClean Bro was like the first food company to be partnered with the American Heart Association. We had our food tested, and we have our salt labeled in all the meals. But for some reason, most prepared food is very salty.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
and the transparency. When you guys were talking about the transparency, the one time in my life, I my registered dietitian, I eat the egg salad every morning, and I try to avoid sugar at all costs. And I'm reading the egg salad label at EatClean Bro, and I saw that there was sugar in the egg salad. And I was like, what the F? Because I know there's no sugar in this building. We do not add sugar. We do not add sugar, right? So I called the registered dietitian Hillary, and I said, Hillary, how is there sugar in the egg salad? She's like, oh, there's sugar naturally recurring in eggs. I'm like, damn it! Like sometimes things like that happen to me. I've been doing this almost 20 years, and I read the nutrition labels. I try to get as educated I can on everything I do, especially things I sell, especially if like, people are trusting me to feed their families. And I'm like, wow, like this is why, I pay the big bucks to have qualified people watching my back and my labels. But that just goes to like show you the transparency.
Yeah.
Even like when it comes down to some of the wraps we make, like it's a big ingredient list. It's an option for you. You don't have to order it, but every single ingredient that's in that box is listed, so what's in that food. We're not running or hiding from anything, and all of our labels are truly transparent, to a fault almost. We hold
Well,
ourselves to the
yeah.
highest standard for
Yeah.
labels, so everything that's in there is clearly labeled for you to read.
Well, and I think that's one of the biggest challenges as health and wellness coaches is to help people continue to read labels and understand what they're putting, what they're truly consuming. And when we talk about a lot of the prepared foods on the market, fast foods, we just are not getting the transparency. And there's a
No.
lot of loopholes and manipulation that big
Thank you.
companies go
Thank you.
through to
Yeah.
trick us. It's not just in the ingredient, in the front of the package, in the marketing and sales part.
Yeah,
It's
I feel
actually
the
on the
same
label.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when you have, products that are organic that come from China,
Yeah. Right.
I've had a lot of instances where I've been very angry. I had a competitor, they're out of business. They were called Kettlebell Kitchen. They were using essentially expired meat from New Zealand, grass fed, and they got the grass fed, but it's like coming from the other side of the world. It's frozen, it's expired. How bad do you want that buzzword? And then like the play on words with organic,
Yeah.
and then fine print organic when available. Everybody is organic when available. A good chunk of my menu is organic. I just won't put it organic because I can't guarantee it 365 days a year. And then yeah, the word play on labels.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, you could get me.
exhausting.
Yeah, it's exhausting. It's exhausting because that's essentially what we're dealing with here on an everyday basis. I mean, people will be like, "Oh, Jamie, how bad is it?" I'm like, "Yo, it's bad enough to make me lose my mind on the internet." I mean, you got people saying things are homemade that are not homemade.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's why we drive home made from scratch, homemade. When I talk about the bone broths, like the backbone of our cooking, I talk about grandma's cooking, not utilizing like the Native Americans, right? Everybody loves the Native Americans. Like, nobody wants to see an animal wasted. We don't want to see things get wasted. We want to utilize all the nutrition that we can get from the animal. We cook down the bones, and we're just trying to create a holistic meal that's affordable. See, if people wanted to spend $400 with me on a meal, I could go and, it's like the thing is, for the price, the quality value you're getting for the price, I don't think anybody shines my shoes in this space as far as EatClean Bro goes. I know what the food costs. I know what it costs to make. I know what it costs to get it to you, the way it's handled, and that's why I really love aligning myself with, you know, healthy professionals like you guys, because you guys understand, and you understand the uphill battle I'm fighting, and it's gotten a lot better. People have gotten a lot smarter in the last 10 years,
Yeah.
but now it's almost like, now, like I said before, but like grass-fed beef, frozen, expired on the other side of the world, right? Like, you're concerned about the carbon footprint and you want recycled plastic, but you want grass-fed
Right.
animals from the other
Right.
side of the world. Like, we got to start deciding what's important to us, because
Yeah.
you're concerned with the buzzword, and now, there's unscrupulous things occurring to provide that buzzword. And it's like, listen, guys, whether you're a vegan, a vegetarian, regardless of what you are, we are all going to die. There's no way around it. You want to avoid your stress. You want to keep your stress low. You want to get a good night's sleep. You want to exercise, keep your blood pressure down, drink water, and eat whole foods.
Yeah.
And try to get it to
Bam.
the so I mean, if it's like, it's people, especially the internet, man, they're so what is it, we're fickle. Like,
Oh
they're
yeah.
just they're down to chase the latest buzzword. They're
Oh
talking,
yeah.
now they're saying seed oil is the new enemy. One of the things about me was, as like a food operator, I always wanted to keep everything simple. So even though it was more money for me, we only use extra virgin olive oil here at EatClean Bro. So
Love
that
that.
is, yeah, I mean, that's the only fat we use. So there's no butter. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, even though I am thinking about experimenting with some like grass-fed organic butter, maybe,
Hmm.
but at the moment right now, we only use extra virgin olive oil. I do try to like test things out on myself before I roll them out
Yeah.
to the public. Like, I did keto for 90 days, lost a bunch of weight. Um, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm just a big believer in, like, listen, you know, I try to think back to ancestral age and what people were doing. And
Absolutely.
it's brown rice, sweet potatoes, white rice, those, like, even potatoes. And then I was learning that even like these reheated complex carbohydrates actually have more benefits, like being reheated, than they do right off the pan. So I thought that was a cool finding as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
love your basics, Jamie, so much. You landed on our five foundations just then, and we're the world we live in right now really is hopping. We've got like squirrel for
yeah,
everything that is gonna be the quick fix, and we need to just take a step back and get back to the basics, which are not sexy, might be boring, but
boring.
they work, and
It works. It
it
works.
it works, and it is sustainable.
Yeah.
We really want to encourage our listeners to rethink and review how you're walking through your days, and if the stress of getting into the kitchen and making all of your foods perfect, you know
Yeah.
if, if that bar is too high and you're just going to fast food and prepared foods that you don't know what's in it, this is a solution. Going to Eat Clean Bro and
Yeah.
connecting with them, going online and doing your own research, look at the ingredients. Oh, one of the other things I liked about you too, Jamie, your company, is that you are continuing to add new things, and you've got some seasonal items.
Yeah.
It's not just the same,
Yeah.
10 things every day. You're doing some exploration, and I think that's the other thing that a lot of people get stuck in, cooking the same thing over and over again and getting bored, and then you
Right.
know
Yeah, and I also like that you have bulk items so that people can put
Yeah,
together their own meals, kind of a shortcut. It's like that you don't have to always get the plated meals. You can get the bulk items and make your own meals with what you've already cooked. And that's beautiful because some people are like, "Ah, I don't want to always get, prepared meals, blah, blah, blah. But if I
yeah.
just had this rice done, or if I just had these cooked up already and I could throw it together, that would be great." And so you also have that option, and it's beautiful. So
Yeah, I love you know what I love doing? If you have like some garlic, peppers, and onions at home, you could take like a protein, rice, and vegetable, chop it up nice, make a little stir fry, and that's really my favorite way to hit the a la carte. You could season it up with some,
yeah,
scramble up some eggs, do like a fried rice,
yep.
pop some hot sauce on there.
Yeah.
It's really delicious. Um,
Well, that's
the,
also customizing, right? For the family. You've got a
yeah,
family of, 2 to 5 people or whatever, and everybody has a little bit different taste buds. Debbie would skip the hot sauce. I would use it.
yeah, yeah.
That's right.
I feel so bad. I made chili for my family the other day, and I was like, let me just put one in. My daughter's eating, and that man, that I came across a really hot jalapeno,
Oh
and
no.
yeah, dude, I kind of ruined it. I mean, me and my wife liked it, but it would have burned her. So
Yeah. Yeah.
she had leftovers, but I felt bad. I felt bad.
Yeah.
Spice will get you, you know.
Spice. Yeah, spice. You got, that's what it is. Everybody's different. And I mean, that's part of our practice too, is recognizing that everybody is different. Everybody is unique. And
Yeah,
so that's what's beautiful too. You can order 5 meals for the 5 people in your family, and they're all different. That's a beautiful thing too. So
exactly. And Eat Clean Bro. Here's the thing: when I started Eat Clean Bro, everybody thought I was crazy. All right. There was no industry when I started. I was by myself, and people thought, Jamie, who wants cold food? Like, you're delivering food that's cold. And I'm like, listen, it's cold, so that's how you naturally preserve food, through cold. So like, it's just available for you when you want it. And they're like, well, why wouldn't they just? And I'm like, they were like, well, why wouldn't they just go out to eat? And I'm like, there's nowhere to get this stuff, like
yeah.
somebody's adding something dirty
Oh
somewhere
yeah.
along the line.
Oh
And
yeah.
now but basically all I wanted to do was help people. The Eat Clean Bro menu from top to bottom, anybody a little overweight can benefit from any meal on eatcleanbro.com. Anybody who's taking their training serious and wants to level up, there's plenty of whole food menu items that you could eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner and hit your goals. And then for like the elite maniacs, like I would feed Michael B. Jordan for the Creed films and a lot of other famous people.
Cool.
For people extremely trying to lose weight and get shredded, like the a la carte steamed broccoli, like
Yeah.
the literally there's food with nothing on it. So um, there's options for everybody, but for the most part, majority of America is a little overweight, and Eat Clean Bro will really help anyone. And then like a perfect example is my uncle. When I think I was talking about salt before. So my uncle, unfortunately my aunt died. She got like cancer in her bones, and it was painful, but it was fast. And then I felt bad, so I started sending my uncle Tom meals, and he just started eating the salmon meals. So his typical lunch was he would eat like a ham and cheese sandwich with like mustard. Now, how much salt is in bread? How much salt is in mustard? How much salt is in ham? How much salt is in cheese? Right. So when people ask me how much salt is in an Eat Clean Bro meal, I laugh because I'm like, what are you comparing it to?
Yeah,
If you're
right.
comparing it to a sandwich, you might as well just say there's no salt in an Eat Clean
That's
Bro
right.
meal, because we're literally taking natural products like the salt. Really, where I try to present the meal well is we take like the steamed vegetables, there's no salt, and the rices, right? It doesn't really need it. But where we do salt is like the proteins. So that's like the memorable piece of the meal. So we're trying to engineer the meal to be desirable to your palate, that makes you want to keep eating it. But in return, there's just less salt in the meal that you don't even notice it's not there. And that's like the psychology behind the meal that we build, is to get you to eat it and enjoy it, but then reap the health benefits and something you enjoyed, but like you're not noticing it's not there. There's no like hidden butter. There's no cream. There's no like additional calories that don't have to be there. You're just remembering, there's a perfect sear on the salmon. Salmon's perfect. tender, juicy. Same thing with all of our meats. We really want the meat to present well. We want the vegetables to be blanched, crispy, green, bright green,
Yeah.
and we want all the rice and potatoes to just be on the money. And that's what we look for in a meal to really extend like the nutritional benefits. So my Uncle Tom had like all the bells and whistles wrong with him. High blood pressure, was like at risk for stroke, blah, 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 overweight. And he just started eating my salmon meals. Now, everybody wants to talk crap, right? I don't know how PG this podcast is, but like they want to talk bad about farm raised salmon, right? Farm raised, stay away from farm raised. Canada, okay? That is a country I would trust. Canada has way higher standards than pretty much anywhere else in the world when it comes to food, much higher than America.
Yeah.
We get farm raised salmon from Canada, and it's grown in the Atlantic Ocean, and it's a superior salmon product. But because it's farm raised, people are scared. People are scared and they don't want it. And my Uncle Tom is a perfect example of eating this meal, right? That's deemed, oh, farm raised. Like, dude, get out of here with the buzzwords and the skeptical
Right.
and the skeptical stuff. My Uncle Tom, the doctors can't believe this guy's health transformation from my meals. Now, take it for what you want, right? Do you want to not eat farm raised salmon from Canada because of some article you read about like farm raised tilapia in China? Big
Right.
difference.
Right,
There's
right.
big difference in how
Yeah.
countries handle food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chile farm raised, maybe you don't want to go near it. Maybe, right? Let that get educated. But like where the food comes from is extremely important to
Makes a
EatClean
difference.
Bro.
Absolutely.
And the quality that we're putting out, man, like I don't know. I try not to keep like I look for the quality of the food. I try to use my best judgment. I have my registered dietitian in house to kind of guide me on like medical and scientific do's and don'ts.
Yep.
But I learned a lot of this stuff as I went along. I've helped a lot of people. I think like honestly, my passion in life is just probably what now that I'm able to help people at a large scale, people who have like issues with food relationships, and just overweight people, helping them eat better, and that it's not a prison sentence. It's actually pretty damn good when you eat,
That's right.
you know. When you go to
right.
Europe, you take trips to Europe. You ever eat in Europe? You go to
Oh,
France, you go to Italy,
Yep.
right? You
Yep.
stuff your face and somehow you lose weight. How
Yep,
did that happen?
Exactly.
Yeah, because they're
Well,
not packing you full of crap.
That's
Yeah,
right.
listen to our podcast, The French Paradox,
Yeah.
because Debbie went to France, and then
Yeah.
we did a podcast about the how people actually live. So
A lot
for
different.
sure.
You know,
Croissants, dude, they're eating croissants.
oh yeah,
they're drinking
and
wine.
butter. Yeah, and butter. So
Butter. Oh my
Yeah.
God, the butter is so good in
yeah,
France.
that's right. Hey, Jamie, what I am so happy about with your company, which is why we wanted you on our podcast, why we want to promote you, is
Thank you.
because of your values, that you stand behind your product. I mean, you are it's your company. You're out there. So it's if you don't have a good product, that that's your identity right there. And so
It is.
your values, your high standards, everything shows through the meals that you put out. And it's so good to get to know you and know even more about what's behind this company and these products, because it's really a great company that we're happy
Thank
to
you.
promote. And am I right that this is your 10th anniversary of being?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. 10 years. Yep. 10 years.
Congratulations.
Happy
That's
anniversary.
Great. That's great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So,
And so we also just want to make sure everybody knows that you do catering events and special events
sure.
as well.
yeah.
And so it's not just, your family breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but you cater special events.
Yeah.
Anything
Yes.
else you want to share with our audience?
So we do catering, and I think it's important that people, because sometimes even my own friends, right? Like say like on holidays for my friends and for customers, right? If people want, say they want Italian catering or they want barbecue, right? We have a huge Texas 1,000-gallon smoker. We do authentic Texas barbecue for fun on the side. I love food. I love to cook.
Yeah.
Do not think for 1 second, right? There are people who say like, oh, well, you cook healthy food. It is so much more detail oriented to nail healthy food than it is to make unhealthy food.
That's
So
right.
just don't ever look at me and think I can't cook unhealthy food. Okay. I will smoke anybody with, you give me some of those ingredients, give me some butter, give me some cream. I'll show you what I could do. But you could eat an EatClean Bro meal with that stuff not in there, and I could still hold my own on meals that have it in there. So just for like the catering and all the stuff we do, if anybody, I mean, this is a nutritional podcast. I shouldn't be talking about my culinary capabilities, but it's one of those things. I scratch my head. I scratch my head sometimes, and I'm like, dude, all that stuff they're throwing in there is a crutch. Like, it's a crutch. Like, of course I could cook all that food. Like, are you kidding me? But yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, you better not be coming to me for some fried up chicken parms. All right. Better get that salad.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, that's my takeaway.
All right. And people can come pick up meals at your place too. It's not, you do delivery, but if people are nearby your Eatontown or your Freehold place, you can pick up food, right?
Yeah, we have these awesome protein shakes that we make. They're like chef prepared shakes. I think that's really cool. We try to take like real. So one of my protein shakes I make, vanilla almond milk, but ripe banana. We do our chocolate peanut butter balls, chocolate peanut butter protein, peanut butter, banana, chocolate. Yeah, that's it. And with the ice and the almond milk.
Sounds yum.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's all types of stuff we could do here, but the prepared food is the bread and butter, and that's our claim to fame.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
It was so nice talking to you guys.
You as well. That our total pleasure, and we wish you another 10 times 10 years of growth and getting out there to help.
Thank you.
You know, you've got a similar message as we do at Nourish Coaches, is to help make the world a healthier place, and that's just a beautiful thing. We need more people and places like this. So to our listeners, please go to EatCleanBro.com, and for 10% off, put in the code Nourish10 and
the number
take
10
it away. Yep. And let us know. Let Jamie know directly. You know how it went. Give him some rating. Give him some love.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. It was great talking to you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Our pleasure.